Ted Rossman, Senior Industry Analyst at Bankrate, joins me now with more. Ted, it's great to see you this morning. We had those retail sales data out earlier this morning, the consumer remaining resilient. What do these rate cuts mean for customers?
It depends on the product. We're going to see the biggest difference for mortgage rates. In fact, we already have. Last year around this time, the average 30-year fixed mortgage rate briefly hit 8% for the first time in a couple of decades. It's already fallen to 6.3%, and that makes a meaningful difference for somebody looking to enter the housing market, or even refinance if they've bought within the past couple of years. I mean, on a $300,000 loan, the difference on a monthly basis is more than $300 if that rate falls from 8% to 6.3, which it already has. Maybe a year from now, mortgage rates are in the mid fives. We're not going back to the threes or fours that we saw a few years ago anytime soon, but still, we're moving in the right direction.
Moving in
Now,
the
for
right.
other products like credit cards,
Go
not as
ahead.
much difference. The average credit card rate right now is about 20.8%. If that falls even a few points, which could take years, you're still talking very high rates. So I see housing as the biggest benefit.
What are the best ways for consumers to prepare for this, Ted, in terms of holiday budgets, knowing that rates are expected to come down a little bit, and what it means for their spending?
We recently did a holiday shopping survey, and we found, well, for one, people are starting early. About half are planning to start their holiday shopping before October 31st. But the other big thing is that people are in a frugal mood. Only about 1 in 4 holiday shoppers plans to spend more this year than they did last year. 1 in 3 plan to spend less, and everybody else is about the same. We saw something similar last year. Inflation has been weighing on people. Even though inflation's come down, there's a cumulative effect, of course. I would believe that a lot of people are going to be seeking discounts this year. They're going to be starting earlier. Retailers are leaning into this promotional season. As you mentioned, October 1st is kind of the unofficial start. And I would expect, they haven't given a specific date yet, but Amazon Prime Big Deal Days is often something like the second week of October. Target, Best Buy, Walmart, they all have their own versions of this. It's a season of deals now. You don't need to wait until Black Friday or Cyber Monday. Retailers are going to have to bend on price to get people excited this year.
As certainly discounts, shoppers love those. It's hard to see anyone really out there in full force, Ted, without some of those discounts stacked. In terms of taking advantage of discounts, using gift cards and rewards, what would you recommend to our viewers?
I love the idea of stacking discounts, so you combine multiple ways to save on the same purchase. Use those store promos, and they're going to be abundant again this year. I feel like 25% off is kind of the floor. We're going to see a lot of 30, 40, 50% off. But don't stop there. Use your rewards credit card and pay in full, so you don't owe interest, but you're benefiting from rewards. That's a second way to save on the same purchase. Maybe you go through an online shopping portal like Rakuten or Shop through Chase. That could be a third way to save. I like those card-linked offer programs, those digital coupons that go by names like Amex offers and Chase offers, and they're tied in with your credit card. So these are all ways that people can save. I also like the early start because it lets you spread out your cash flow. If nothing else, start saving now. You probably still have 6 or 7 paychecks before the end of the year. Use that as your buffer against high-cost credit card debt.
In terms of what we hear from the Fed tomorrow afternoon, Ted, what do you think our viewers should be listening for as it relates to the consumer, how it might impact their own savings?
The path forward is most interesting because there's still some doubt as to whether we get a quarter point cut tomorrow or a half a point, but this is only the beginning. This could be a multi-year rate cutting cycle. We'll definitely be looking for clues as far as how much and how fast. It's going to be slower on the way down than it was on the way up. I mean, remember, the Fed pushed rates higher by 5.25 points in pretty short order in 2022 and 23, and that's still having major effects on borrowing. We see credit card rates near record highs, car loans and mortgages. They hit multi-decade highs. Mortgage rates have started to come down. That's really the one that has come down in advance. But everything else is still very elevated, whether we're talking credit cards, home equity lines of credit, auto loans. It's going to take some time to unwind that. A silver lining is for saving.
All right, Ted, we're going to listen to the opening bell. Thanks for joining.